A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. The U.S. Senate kicked off a critical amendment process known as a Vote-a-Rama on Monday morning, focusing on the One Big Beautiful Bill Act ahead of a looming deadline set by President Donald Trump. This legislative marathon follows a lengthy debate that wrapped up around 1 a.m. Eastern Time, with senators diving into a series of mandatory votes on amendments crucial to the bill's future. The urgency is palpable as Republicans rush to meet Trump's July 4th deadline for passing the bill, which seeks to consolidate key elements of GOP policy into a single sweeping piece of legislation. On June 28th, the Senate advanced the budget reconciliation legislation with a narrow 51-49 vote, despite opposition from Senators Rand Paul, Republican Kentucky, and Thom Tillis, Republican North Carolina, who voted against advancing the bill. The Senate has been in continuous session since Saturday morning, nearing the 34-hour mark, with a significant portion of that time spent reading through the extensive 940-page document. A request made by Senate Democrats to ensure comprehensive understanding of the bill's implications. This spending legislation, which is being pushed through using the filibuster-proof reconciliation process, represents the culmination of weeks of intense negotiations within the Republican Party and between the two chambers of Congress. It addresses a wide array of policy areas, including taxes, border security, and federal entitlements. However, as the vote series commenced, uncertainty loomed over the final outcome, with the reconciliation process requiring each proposed amendment to be voted on individually. With 53 Republican seats, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Republican South Dakota, can only afford 3 defections. Otherwise, Vice President J.D. Vance would need to cast a tie-breaking vote. While Republicans generally unite behind key aspects of the package, such as extending Trump's 2017 tax cuts and funding enhanced immigration enforcement, certain components of the legislation remain contentious among lawmakers. Senator Thom Tillis, in a speech on the Senate floor, voiced his concerns regarding changes to Medicaid, suggesting that Trump had been misinformed about the bill's cuts to the entitlement program. The current draft introduces new work requirements for able-bodied adults to receive benefits, as well as reducing the maximum provider tax states can levy on hospitals and doctors to fund their Medicaid programs. Such changes have raised alarms amongst several Republicans, including Senator Susan Collins, Republican Maine, who worry that rural hospitals could be adversely affected and face potential closures. In response to these concerns, the legislation includes a $25 billion fund aimed at supporting these hospitals, though Collins has advocated for that fund to be increased to $100 billion, leaving her support for the bill uncertain. Tillis criticized the proposed changes, asserting that they break Trump's campaign promises to protect Medicaid, drawing parallels to President Barack Obama's infamous assertion regarding the Affordable Care Act. He expressed deep concern for the 663,000 individuals who could be impacted by the potential loss of Medicaid funding. Senator Lisa Murkowski, Republican Alaska, has also expressed reservations about the Medicaid cuts, as well as reductions to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, commonly referred to as food stamps, despite voting to advance the legislation. Senator Rick Scott, Republican Florida, has voiced multiple objections to the legislation, particularly regarding its provisions that raise the state and local tax, SALT, deduction cap. He has publicly stated that there should be no SALT deduction at all. However, a contingent of House Republicans, led by Representative Mike Lawler, Republican New York, have demanded an increase to the SALT cap as a precondition for their support of the bill. House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican Louisiana, like Thune, cannot afford to lose more than 3 votes in the House either. In an effort to appease conservative holdouts, Thune supported an amendment proposed by Scott that would further cut Medicaid through a significant alteration to its funding mechanism. This amendment seeks to reduce the federal government's cost sharing for Medicaid from 90% to as low as 50% for individuals who become eligible for the program after December 31, 2030, shifting more financial responsibility onto the states. Scott remains optimistic about the measure's passage, although other Republicans have expressed apprehensions regarding the potential impact of the current Medicaid cuts. Senator Paul has linked his objections to the legislation's proposed increase in the debt ceiling. The Senate version of the bill suggests a $5 trillion increase, whereas the House version proposed a $4 trillion increase. Paul has indicated that he would only support the package if the debt ceiling increase were removed. As the Senate continues its marathon voting session, the stakes are high for all involved. Trump has been vocally pressuring senators to finalize a deal by the self-imposed July 4th deadline, and lawmakers who have pushed back have faced political ramifications. Tillis's recent no vote led to Trump vowing to support a primary challenge against him, prompting Tillis's announcement that he would not seek re-election in 2026. The political landscape is shifting rapidly, and the outcome of this vote could have significant ramifications for the future of Republican policy and the party's unity as a whole. As the Senate navigates through this tumultuous process, the implications for millions of Americans hang in the balance, particularly those relying on Medicaid and other vital federal programs. The coming days will be pivotal as the Senate works to finalize the one big, beautiful bill and deliver it to the president's desk for approval. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.